Okay, another one. Um, as I said, I'm just like recording these kind of one after the other for a couple of them, for the shorter ones. So this one is going to be about Numemon and Monzemon. Just because these kind of are introduced in the same episode, and we don't get a huge amount with either one of them. Numemon are actually the first one out of these two that we are introduced to, and actually we're not introduced to one specific Numemon, we're introduced to them as a giant group. So after the Digidestin leave the factory where Andromon is, they end up making their way down into this sewer system. And which, admittedly, at least in the sewer system, you're not going to die of, like, heat stroke from being out in the sun in the desert where they were before. I still wouldn't drink the water, but, it's at least slightly better. Um, and they're making their way through the sewer system, and then they end up getting attacked by these slug slash sludge piles of, that are Digimon with giant bug eyes. And they're running around and they start throwing their poop at them, is what it is. Um, yeah. I do find it funny that it's pink. But the Numemon keep throwing that at the Digidestin, and they're trying to escape, and they make their way out of the sewer. And then the Numemon are scared by the light because Numemon don't like light. So I guess they're a little bit like demons in that case. If you go by a Demon Slayer logic, I have started watching Demon Slayer. I've made my way through the whole first season and through the movie. I will end up reading the manga because it looks really good, but I'll see about what happens with that later. But I've got other things on my plate at the moment to work through. But they work through the Digidestin get out of the sewer, and the Numemon are scared of the light, and they run back into the sewer. And then the Digidestin come across this giant like field of vending machines that they try to get food out of, and it doesn't work. And there's a Numemon inside one of the vending machines, and it like attacks Mimi. And well, it doesn't attack her; it starts flirting with her, if I remember correctly. And it starts trying to get Mimi to date it and everything, and Mimi's just like, no, why would I date you? Type thing. And this is when the Digidestin get attacked, and they're attacked by Monzemon, who's this giant yellow bear type Digimon. It attacked them, and it kind of got them separated. Mimi and Palmon get separated from the group. One of the Numemon shows up and helps them hide, so that way they can escape from the Monzemon. And then Monzemon goes back to its village, Toy Town, and Mimi and Palmon end up following him there. And because they want to find their friends, and this is when they see their friends running around. Again, I went over this in Mimi's video, but it gets a little more elaborated here. They see their friends running around playing with the toys, but it's more like the toys are playing with the kids. And like they all have like these weird forced smiles on their faces and everything, and it is kind of creepy looking. Not quite as creepy as like the way that the smiles are in like One Piece. If you've if you're in the Wano arc and everything, you're introduced to the smiles, and it's not quite that bad, because it doesn't last as long, but it's very mechanical and everything. Like, isn't this fun? This is so fun. Like they're just running around, and like the toys are chasing them, and Mimi and Palmon are trying to figure out what's going on, and they end up finding this giant chest that has all the other Digimon in it. And Agumon explains to them, or I think it's Agumon that explains, it's like, we were all attacked by Monzemon, and then but he's supposed to be a really nice Digimon. He's just supposed to like guard this town of toys, so like lost toys from kids and everything. So, if kids come along, they can play with them, or even, I guess, if, like, Digimon come along, they can play with them. But, Monzemon's supposed to be a really nice Digimon. Again, it's this concept that we keep coming across, like with Meramon. Meramon was supposed to be a very nice Digimon that helped the Yokomon. In this case, Monzemon is supposed to be a very nice Digimon that is supposed to help, keep an eye on Toy Town and everything, and keep anybody that comes there to visit happy and everything, and make them feel safe and loved and everything. He's not supposed to act that way. And, Mimi and Palmon get, kind of fed up with this, and they go and they try to, make the Digidestin stop. And then they end up having to fight Monzemon. And this is when Palmon digivolves into Togemon for the first time. And Togemon is able to, Togemon and Monzemon kind of get into a boxing match. But first, the Numemon appear and they try to protect Mimi from Monzemon before Palmon digivolves. And so, like, they're throwing their pink sledge at him. Yeah. They throw that at him, and it doesn't really do anything. Monzemon is a champion level type Digimon, and the Numemon, I think, are at best a rookie level. They're not very strong. They're just more numerous than anything, and they come across. They fight Monzemon, doesn't really do anything, and then Palmon digivolves into Togemon, and then Togemon and Monzemon get into like a boxing match, and Togemon wins, is able to knock the black gear out of him and make him good again. And then Monzemon, he's like looking over the Digidestin, and he apologizes because like the spell that was on the Digidestin, broke, because he's no longer evil, no longer controlled. And he like apologizes to the Digidestin. He's like, I'm so sorry. I don't know what came over me. I don't know what happened. I'm so sorry. This is not what I'm supposed to do. And, so he's apologizing and everything. And like the Digidestin forgive him. And then he does this, he does his heart attack, which his heart attack is supposed to be not like a bad type of an attack. Because what it had done before was when he used it on the Digidestin, when he was being controlled, was it kind of brainwashed them and made them like the robotic. This is so fun. This is so much fun as they're running around. But what it's supposed to do is when he does it, it's supposed to release these, bright red hearts that like encircle you and your Digimon, and it just feels like you're getting the best, warmest hug, friendliest, happiest hug that you've ever gotten in your life. So it's not meant to be an evil attack. It's meant to be an attack that makes you feel safe and warm and everything. And it's supposed to be a very nice attack and everything, or a very nice thing. And the rest of the Digidestin all get they all get these hug hearts and everything, or heart hugs, or whatever it is that they're called, and they're all very happy with it and everything, and they're all just like, yay. And the Numemon are watching, and they're just like, hey, beauty. One of them, the lead one or whatever, is still trying to get Mimi's attention. It's just like, hey, will you go on a date with me? And Mimi's just like, no. And the Numemon are just like, she's so hard to get. I'm just like, oh God, please stop. But they get, they're happy there. And Monzemon is one of the Digimon that shows up at the end of the File Island segment to help them build a raft and everything, so that way they can travel the server. So we see him there. We don't really see Monzemon again. However, when we cut to during the Machinedramon arc, the like 2 episodes where they deal with Machinedramon in the digital world, during the Dark Masters arc, they're, what they find out is like after, Kari and TK and Sora and then, Tai and Izzy, fall down into the Undercity, Sora and Kari and TK come across these Numemon that are being used basically as like slave labor to power the city. And they are actually being terrorized by a Digimon that is called Waru Monzemon. Now, if Digivolved kind of like wrong or like corrupted type Digivolving, Waru Monzemon, or Monzemon, can turn into Waru Monzemon. And I mean, depending on the Digidestined or whatever, the partner that the Digimon had, they could change into that. I think in some of the digital games that I have, or one of the digital games that I have, which I have not tried to get a Monzemon in that game yet. I don't know if like if you try to get a Monzemon in that game, and then like if you get it, and then like if you like Digivolve it wrong or something, it'll turn into a Waru Monzemon. It kind of still looks kind of cool, but it's just it's a bad Digimon in the case for the context that we see it in the anime. It's whipping and enslave the Numemon and everything. And this is when Kari kind of activates her Queen Kari mode with all of her light flowing off of her and everything, and she's able to, she frees the Digimon, and Gatomon digivolves into Anjomon and is able to destroy Waru Monzemon. We don't ever get 100% confirmation if this Waru Monzemon is the same like Digivolve from the Monzemon that was like at Toy Town, like when the Dark Masters were going around and destroying everything, and destroying everything that like maybe they like destroyed Toy Town, and then Monzemon just kind of lost it, and then they just like infected him with dark power, dark data, dark power, and then it digivolved him and then made him obey them. I don't know. That could have been the case. That's kind of just what I do with like headcanon with that. It's just like, yeah, he's the same one. He just, ended up, he's the same one. It's just he got manipulated by the Dark Masters and got turned into Waru Monzemon. And then, after he got destroyed and then like Primary Village is fixed, then he got the ability to be, brought back, his data reused, and he, turned back into just Monzemon, and then, had Toy Town again. We don't ever really see Toy Town again, unfortunately, and we don't see Monzemon again. I don't even remember if we see a Monzemon as like any Digidestin's like partner in like season 2. I could be wrong on that, but I don't think we do. And I don't think we see I don't think we see a Monzemon show up again, unfortunately. I like them. They're a big, giant, fluffy teddy bear that just wants to give hugs and play. But with the Numemon, what ends up happening is when Machinedramon shows up and he's about ready to attack Kari, because, it's like if he gets rid of her, then, part of the Digidestin is dead. And what ends up happening is because the Numemon now are trying to thank Kari for freeing them, they all just like, cover Machinedramon and try to attack him and everything, and it doesn't do anything. He's so strong as like a mega level Digimon, and they're just like rookie level. He's just able to like defeat them so quickly. But in regards to losing them, Kari, that kind of heightens Kari's power, and then it makes Agumon digivolve. Which again, well, it's like via like that gives Agumon power because like Kari's, light kind of powers up Agumon and allows him to digivolve on Tai's command. And then Agumon is then able to, or Greymon is then able to defeat Machinedramon. So the Numemon that's kind of like he defeated them because the Numemon type thing. And then Kari makes a little, grave monument to the Numemon after they've defeated Machinedramon and they get out of that area. We see Numemon a few other times throughout the series. They pop up in season 2 a little bit, popping up as like, they like harass Davis at some point. They're in like vending machines. We see them, as like menial labor in other places. They help when like the Digidestin are trying to like rebuild the digital world after they defeat Ken and everything. So it's not like we don't ever see Numemon again. And there's also a Digidestined in, I think it's in Digimon Last Evolution, we see a Digidestin that has a Numemon as their partner. Now the thing with Numemon is they're not very useful in the games. Admittedly, in one of the Digimon games that I have, in this one, it's called Digimon Next Order. You run around, you have like 2 Digimon with you at any given time, and you run around with them, and you run around with them, and they get, they evolve, and they digivolve all the way up. And then, like, after so much amount of, game time, they kind of die and turn back into eggs, and then you start over again. So it doesn't quite follow the same rules that we see with, like, the Digimon in the series. I kind of wish it stayed a little bit more that way, like you could have them a little bit longer. But it doesn't. But at one point in the game, you like your Digimon have to go to the bathroom every so often, and like if you miss that bathroom break and your Digimon digivolve, mine turned into like a weird Numemon thing that was like an angel Neo thing, and it was disgusting looking. And I don't remember if I just like restarted the game at that point in time. I'm just like, no, no. I'm starting the game over again. I don't want that thing. Admittedly, I could have just like run out the clock on it, and then it would have, quote unquote, died and turned back into a Digi Egg, and then I could have started over again. But I'm just like, no, I'll just start the game over again. I don't want to run around with that thing with me. It was not that impressive looking, in all honesty. It was just like, why? Um, um, I may attempt to do a Waru Monzemon at some point in that game, but it's been a while since I've played that game. I may end up playing it again. We'll see. I don't know. I enjoyed the game, but we'll see what happens. So, that's what I have for this video, for the Numemon and for Monzemon. So, I thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video, and I hope you have a nice rest of your day. Bye! I must say, so pleased to make your acquaintance. Acquaintance? He's attacking us! You think?